Wake up. Wake up. Let's go. Niners lose. Niners lose. Oh, my God. Do we have to talk about it? Yeah, we do.
Already our final wake up in the month of September. It's going to be October before you know it, and the 49ers going to be playing again before you know it. They've got a date with the Rams on Thursday night, and I'm going to tell you right now, they win that game, we'll never speak of the Jacksonville Jaguars game again. We'll get to the end of the year, and Larry will forget that they even played it if they come on out and get this bad taste out of everybody's mouth on Thursday. So a quick turnaround presents a nice little opportunity for the 49ers. But any way you want to shake it, like that was bad yesterday. You know, the real bad omen. I know we got a lot of things to go through here, Larry, but the real bad omen and the one thing that from that game could haunt the Niners the rest of the way is the fact that that was their first game without a quarterback pressure since 2015. If that is a new reality in the Nick Bosa-less 49ers world that everyone's living in, it's going to be awfully tough to get through that reality. You got to create pressure. And on Sunday against Trevor Lawrence, they created none.
Yeah. I mean, you know, get in line. That was one of many things that weren't good. How about, I mean, you know, we could start with special teams. I mean,
Larry,
what's going on with special teams?
I'm not interested in special teams. And clearly they're not either.
They're not either.
I mean, good God. How is it a problem? All the time. Every week, every single time you're looking at, and this, by the way, this is not on Jake Moody, everybody's favorite whipping boy. I just fire Brant Boyer and just get some drunk high school coach who screams, stay in your running lane for 8 hours a day. Because that's what they need to do. These guys stay in their running lanes, they make a tackle on kickoff, and everything is good. They win yesterday. As bad as they played, without allowing one back to the house, they win yesterday. With all that was wrong with them, it is the special teams mistake that does them in all the time. Like whenever it happens, you know, oh, you can put that game in the loss column almost.
Shanahan will speak as we're speaking here. He's going to come on at 9:15 with a conference call. So we'll see. I'm sure there'll be stuff that will be released here in this conference call. We'll find out more information about Juwan Jennings, about, you know, all the different injuries. But, you know, the bottom line, you know, I asked Brock after the game, I said, hey, because I reported all week long, hey, you know what? Brock Purdy is, you know, not getting his toe on the ground. It's messing with his mechanics, and he's leaving balls high in practice.
Yeah.
Talked about it Tuesday, talked about it Wednesday, talked about it Thursday. Didn't talk about it on Friday because I didn't really see it on Friday. I mean, he seemed okay on Friday. And then he gets into this game, and every throw that didn't go where he wanted it to go was high. For the most part, maybe there might have been one low one.
Larry, too high and a couple too low. It was that was uncommon Brock Purdy. Say whatever you want about Brock. Inaccuracy usually isn't what people are complaining about. And he was Jimmy Garoppolo level high on some throws that he had. There's just no doubt. It was
he was and So I asked him about it. I said, hey, you know, is it related to the toe? And instead of just being like, dude, you know, no, you know, some of these guys get pissed if you ask about, you know, is your bad performance related to your injury? You know, that's not a popular question. And that's not a popular. Yeah, it absolutely is. You know, these, you know, it says on the wall, they have 3 rules in their room. One of them's don't make excuses. So he's not going to make excuses. But I asked him, do you think, you know, I saw you throwing the ball high in practice. I even referenced that. I said there were throws that were high in this game. Was it related to the toe in any way? And he, you know, gave me a long answer, and he basically said, hey, I got to watch the film. I got to be honest with myself when it comes to what I'm seeing, and then we got to do what we can to correct it. So I don't know what the future is going to hold as far as Thursday night, but I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I think the 49ers, Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch just said, hey, Brock, it's your call. How do you feel? You're our starting quarterback. It's your call. And after watching Mac Jones lead his team to victory for 2 straight weeks, he's like, yeah, I can do it. I can get it out. I can get out there.
Yeah. I mean,
But
maybe it was a little,
maybe that wasn't the right decision. Maybe that wasn't. Maybe that was. I mean, they told us, Damon, it was 2 to 6 weeks.
Right.
Kyle said to us, not the first week, but the second week, he's like, when I first got the first, announcement from the doctors, they said 2 to 6 weeks. Well, he missed 2. Maybe he should have missed 6. Maybe he should have.
Maybe not 6. Maybe you asked him to miss 3, especially with a 4-day turnaround to this Thursday night game. I thought that you might be robbing a little bit of a chance to win on Thursday if you come back to Purdy too quickly. Having said all that, Larry, I don't know how much the toe played in the turnovers. Obviously, the toe had nothing to do with Luke Farrell's turnover. The toe had nothing to do with the Eric Armstead strip of Brock. By the way, how good did that feel for Eric Armstead? That had to feel great for him. But Purdy still threw for over 300 yards. You can glass half full or glass half empty his day all you want. You can do that, I think, with the Niners through 4 games, Larry. And I think either way, there's truth to it. If you want to be down on the Niners, there's elements of truth to that. If you want to look at this glass half full, here you go, Larry. You're 3-1 with 2 division wins. You've won twice with the backup quarterback. You've done more winning than losing in spite of a rash of injuries, special team issues, turnovers, very little to show for the running game. Your offensive line kind of stinks. You haven't even played very well yet, and you're 3-1. No. Okay. So then the glass half empty is.
I can't go there this morning. Okay. I made fun of that in the post game yesterday. I said, okay. I cannot stomach a day where people do this. Hey, if you just back away, they're 3-1 after 4 games. No.
Well, no, I think there is.
I hear you. You're right. I'm not saying you're not right. You are right, but I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that today. And maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm alone. So maybe the chat can say they want to hear that. I don't want to hear today about the great spot the Niners are in. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to. That is
okay. You know what? That's fair. So let me glass half empty it for you, Larry. Let me give you the show you want to do. Are you ready? Yes. Here you go. Here's your glass half empty. They got 2 borderline healthy guys who can actually do something with a football, and that's it. Who
would that be?
Ricky Pearsall and Christian McCaffrey.
Ricky Pearsall's not healthy, Damon. Ricky Pearsall suffered a knee injury, and today's at 9:15 we may find out details about Ricky Pearsall's knee injury.
So I said borderline healthy guys.
Yeah, well,
2 borderline.
Well, here's the other thing too. What was my? I'm not going to pat myself on the back.
Give me my full glass half empty.
Okay, go ahead.
Ready? Okay. So you got 2 borderline healthy guys who are the only guys on this team who can do anything with the football, and that's it. You got no Bosa, which exposes them to offenses to just have their way with them with the pressureless world that now quarterbacks live in. Shanahan's officially out of good ideas. He's a front runner. He never solves his biggest annual special teams problem. Not never. They have let their offensive line get old and untalented right in front of them, and they've done nothing about it. And this year will be yet another year that doesn't end in the Super Bowl that everybody is dying for. Does that sound better to you?
Well, I can't say the offensive line. The issue is not the age of the offensive line because Colby's a rookie and Pooney's a second-year guy.
The issue is
McKivitz is 28. The problem is, Ninja Dom says the first-round pick needs to be an offensive lineman. Yes.
Needed to be that last year.
It needed to be that. They probably needed to. Well, they've missed on the defensive line so consistently that they just keep going back to it. Right. So, and if you have this philosophy that you can never have enough defensive linemen, then you're never going to get to the offensive line because you're never going to have enough defensive linemen. It's like the San Francisco Giants with we can never have enough pitching. Well, if you can never have enough pitching, where do you get your hitters? And then suddenly you look up and you're like, the Giants are boring as hell. The Giants can't score 3 runs. It's like, why? Well, because they have this philosophy that you can never have enough pitching. So you're right about there's not a lot of. There's all kinds of issues. It's like, where do we start?
Right? Their offensive line doesn't open up holes for running backs. That's the problem. That is right at the center of it.
Right now, don't tell me. I cannot be gaslit anymore with Jake Brendel's great. I can't. I mean, what are we talking about, fellas? You have the best running back in the game, and he's averaging in all 4 games 3 yards a carry.
It's the worst per carry average of his entire, 11-year career. And I don't think Christian McCaffrey is looking different than he normally looks because he's still 100 yards from scrimmage rolling out of bed. That's who he's always been, and that's who he remains. The problem that Christian McCaffrey is facing right now isn't anything that's lingering from bilateral Achilles tendonitis. It's lingering from I'm being hit behind the line of scrimmage every other time I'm carrying the football. He gets greeted behind the line. He doesn't even get to the line of scrimmage clean. He's being hit behind it all the time.
Well, and if there was another back, if they had another back that was killing it, it would be one thing. Then we could say it's Christian. It's not Christian. It's the line. The line is not opening holes. They're not moving people in the run game. And when the space gets tight in the red zone, it's the most apparent. Because in the red zone, you have to win with one of 3 ways: play design, speed, or power. And they're not winning with any of those 3. They're not winning with play design. They're not winning with speed, and they can't win with power. They can't move anybody in the red zone, and they're a horrendous red zone team. So they had a really long first drive. It was great. In fact, I heard some of the guys in the locker room saying, hey, that first drive was great. Yeah, until you got to the red zone and settled for a short field goal. And then somebody actually had the audacity yesterday in the postgame to say that it was a good day for Eddie Pinheiro. Why? Because he made a couple 20-yard field goals because your horseshit red zone offense can't punch it in. I mean, that's not a great day from Eddie Pinheiro.
It's a good day.
He didn't miss, but I mean,
if we're talking about did your kicker make his kicks, yes, then great day. So Jacksonville Jaguars kicker also had a great day then, I guess.
But I mean, a great day is 2 20-yard field goals. I mean,
no, it's not a great day.
So there's that issue. Then the Ricky Pearsall thing. Now, I kept saying, hey, is Ricky Pearsall tough enough to operate in the middle of the field in the NFL? And people are like, he was shot. You're questioning the toughness of a guy who was shot. It's like, oh my God, people, can we somehow differentiate the difference between, toughness over here and the ability to stay on the field?
Right. We're not
Ricky
talking
went
about
out yesterday with a sore knee. He said it was sore and that it didn't feel right.
Right.
So that better be an injury or that better be an injury. That better be a significant injury or otherwise everybody's got pain. If you're not out there because you're sore, there's going to be people that question that. If you're not out there because you're hurt, nobody would question that.
Well, look,
so which one is
Ricky is one of the draft picks that actually might be a successful player. So I hope you're wrong, Larry. And I hope, here's the thing. Tough guys do get hurt too. So I'm not here to grade his toughness. He came down on his knee funny. He hurt. He did get back out there. He gave it a go. And then he just said, man, something's wrong. And he knows his body better than I know his body. And my tolerance for Ricky Pearsall's pain isn't something that I should impress you with. So let's see. Let's see what happens. Hopefully he's not hurt again because he's the only guy on this team who can do anything with the football. You know what? The single best nugget so far of this, what's your gift of the first month of football has been Jake Tongas. Okay, I like you, kid. Why did it take so long to get to you? That's another admission that this team.
Well, that's another reason they can't run.
Yeah, how to evaluate his own team, and yet Kittle coming back will help open up the run game. And I do think offensive lines, especially assimilating young players into them, take a while to develop. I think the Niners are going to be better in week 8 than they were last week. I do, as long as nobody else gets hurt. I still see a lot of their problems as solvable, correctable.
I got to be honest. I'm going to push back on this. Who the hell's Kendrick Bourne?
Yeah, why is he
and what the hell was Kendrick Bourne doing before he was here? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. What was he doing in New England? Nothing. What kind of production had he had this summer? Hardly any. What chances did he have to make the woebegone Patriots wide receiver core? Nil. So it's like now he plugs in and he's supposed to be some playmaker. We're supposed to dial back to 2019. I mean, Kendrick Bourne ain't it.
By the way, when I think back to 2019, Kendrick Bourne is not a part of any of those memories, basically. What are we talking about?
But I mean, Kendrick Bourne, I mean, everybody's gathering around Kendrick Bourne's locker yesterday. It was the saddest fucking thing I think I've ever seen. It's like this guy is being leaned on in 2025 to be the guy. He wasn't the guy in 2024. Usually, if you're the guy in 2025, you were the guy in 2024. He's not the guy. He wasn't the guy in 2024. He wasn't the guy in 2023. Word out, everybody except for the Niners seems to know that this guy's cooked since he tore his ACL in 2023. The Patriots sure knew it, but the Niners didn't. The Niners were like, come on and start. And now he's playing over Demarcus Robinson? Really? What are you doing, Kyle? Yeah. You have Demarcus Robinson. He was your best receiver all summer, and you don't play him for Kendrick fucking Bourne, who was a waiver wire guy anybody in the league could have had for peanuts?
I can't believe that Kendrick.
The depth chart needs an explanation.
Yeah, I can't believe that Demarcus Robinson didn't even see a target until late in the game. Like, how do you not put him out on the field early and say, we're going to draw something up from him just to suck him into the game, just to get him back here? In
the red zone, the guy's a great red zone receiver. He had 2 targets on the day. He had the same number of targets as Luke Farrell. He had half as many targets as Kendrick Bourne. You cannot be giving Kendrick Bourne double the targets of Demarcus Robinson. Do we need a Kendrick Bourne history lesson here? I mean, sometimes I feel like I'm the only person who's watching football. All right, look, do we have to bust out the Kendrick Bourne scorecard? Last year, he had 28 receptions for 38 yards and 1 touchdown. The year before that, he had 8 receptions for 37 yards. The year before that, he had 37 receptions last year for 66 yards. That was 23. Right. That was 2 years ago. 3 years ago, 35 receptions. He hasn't had over 50 receptions since 2021. He's not a big time guy. At all. I mean, and it's like I get it when you needed to fill out your roster, but I mean, I don't even get it. Because in reality, there are better younger guys sitting around. But the Niners keep thinking they're like this Super Bowl team that's just one piece away. And so they keep going back to their former has-been players and thinking, well, we don't want to interrupt the chemistry. How about go get better younger players at every turn? Well, don't worry about the damn chemistry.
I mean, how about the fact, and you could say, well, Damon, this is a little unfair because the guys have been hurt, and you say you have no tolerance, or you're not going to be brave through Ricky Pearsall's injuries. Why are you trying to be brave through these guys? But I'm going to tell you right now, both Jordan James and Jordan Watkins might as well have been forfeited draft picks to this.
I mean,
point.
they're hurt. They're hurt.
But even when they're not hurt, they're going to get Kendrick Bourne. Like, even if they are able to
hopefully
play,
not.
They're not going to be able to play because Kyle won't let them play. Kyle doesn't let his young skill position players even get the chance to outproduce anyone who might be higher up on the depth chart than in Kyle's mind. He does not let his young player
who looked pretty good running the ball this summer
on this team. Is he still available? Is he here?
Who?
Garendo something?
Garendo.
Okay, well, he's on the
roster. Garendo might as well be a basketball player because he's not a football player.
Okay.
As far as, by the way, Corey Kiner ran the hell out of the rock this summer. He rolled an ankle. They cut him. He signed yesterday with Minnesota's practice squad. So he's on Minnesota's practice squad. So we'll see if my touting of Corey Kiner amounts to anything. I do think he's going to be pretty good.
Got me out of a steak, that's for sure.
But, here's the thing about this. There's a bunch of problems, right? There's a bunch of problems. And there were a bunch of problems when they were winning. But yesterday, I mean, it's just everything. I mean, you spent so many resources on special teams, and you're literally no better.
You're just as bad as
you were dead last in coverage unit return yards. I mentioned it in the pregame. Sure enough, 87-yard Parker Washington house call on special teams.
But that was just one of the bad. I mean, there were two other returns in that game that were way too robust for Jacksonville.
They're last. I mean, the Niners are last, Damon, last.
Yes.
They are giving up 33.8 yard line average field position coming into the game before the house call. So, I mean, their special teams is a disaster. The offensive line obviously is not holding up. I think Kyle and John just said to Brock, hey, are you ready? And he said, yeah. And they said, okay. Did anybody watch practice all week besides me and say, hey, Brock, if you're okay, how come 10 passes that you threw in practice sailed over guys' heads? I think the Niners probably should have told Brock, hey, you know what? We don't think you're ready. And the other thing is it's a toe injury, and the toe injury can get quite a bit worse.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I understand his great competitive desire to get out there, but, you know, forget all the other negatives, if all that happened in this game was that the Niners were -4 in turnovers, that's enough. Nobody wins in the NFL when you're -4 in turnovers. So what's the issue? The issue is two things, right? The issue is you turn it over too much, and Brock didn't see. Devin Lloyd had the game of his life. And then on defense, you don't turn it over, and you haven't gotten an interception in 11 games. And without Nick Bosa, suddenly you have no pass rush at all. And it was, I sat there all afternoon going, wow, Trevor Lawrence has got too much time. And we talked about it in the pregame.
By the way,
Trevor Lawrence is a real obvious quarterback. If you hit him, he throws you picks and you beat him. If you don't hit him, he runs around, he throws it around, he makes plays, and he beats you. And then
Lawrence wasn't great yesterday. They didn't.
No, he was terrible.
Yeah,
he was terrible. He ran out of bounds in the fourth quarter when they're trying to burn clock. He ran out of bounds on his own. I mean, he's off. But if you don't put any rush on him, and Damon, the stat was the Niners didn't get a quarterback hit for the first time since 2015. Not one. Well, not one hit.
They had no pressures. Forget about a hit. A hit is a whole other thing. They didn't even get a pressure on Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence didn't even forget about washing his jersey. Trevor Lawrence didn't even need to wash his hands. He could tidy up like you at the end of a meal at BW3s or, a Buffalo Wild Wing. You just needed a little.
I thought they had some pressures. I just thought they didn't get any hits.
They didn't get nothing on Trevor Lawrence. He wasn't nervous for a minute out there. It was a day where the line of scrimmage, was a huge reason why the 49ers lost that game. They didn't play well on either side of the line of scrimmage. Again, Brock, it's probably too much to say that, Mac Jones wins that game, but I don't know if Mac Jones would have turned it over like that. I don't know if Mac Jones would have been throwing high like that. I don't know if Mac Jones would have thrown for 300 yards like that, though. I mean, Brock still did move the football. And in a way, the Niners offense is really strange because even though it doesn't do the things it normally does, other than stall in the red zone, which is becoming way too much of a franchise signature, it's moving the ball. The offense moved the ball well enough, but the turnovers and the stalling are in the red zone and the special teams play again cooked the 49ers. It's just they lose the same way far too often. They really do.
And there's no consistency. I mean, the receivers had a bunch of drops.
Right.
The offensive line struggled. Purdy left, 5 balls high. They didn't play DeMarcus Robinson, and that wouldn't be a big deal if you had awesome receivers, but you don't. Then Ricky Pearsall. I mean, think about it this way. Ricky Pearsall, you just said at the beginning of the show, is like one of their only weapons. And JJ's not 100%. He wasn't 100% in this game and finished it less than he even started it. But in a day where Ricky Pearsall took himself out of the game, DeMarcus Robinson got 2 targets and none till the second half. What will make that make sense? You don't have JJ's not 100%. Ayuk's out. Debo's gone. Pearsall. You chose to put fucking Sky Moore and slow Kendrick Bourne off the waiver wire out there all day instead of DeMarcus Robinson. Make that make sense.
Right. Is Marquez Valdez Scantling getting routes over Demarcus Robinson?
Why Sky Moore? I mean, let's look at the box score here, but I'm pretty sure Sky Moore had more targets than Demarcus Robinson. Sky Moore, no, he had one. Sky Moore had one target and DeMarcus had two. Okay, so he had double. But he had half as many as Bourne, and Luke Farrell had two, and Luke Farrell fumbled. I mean, the turnovers killed them in this game. Jacksonville takes the ball away well, but, I mean, the turnovers absolutely killed them. The pressure absolutely killed them.
Larry, I think if we're assigning blame, like where did the loss start? I've got, so here's the level of blame in terms of why this game was lost. It starts at 0 pass rush and 4 turnovers. Then it goes to the special teams. Then it goes to more drops by 49ers receivers than I can remember in any one game. Then it goes to that bad call on the Stout interception where they got him for PI, where I thought it was a pretty soft PI whistle. I thought Stout made a play that could have been a game-affecting play there. And then it's on Brock's toe. Like Brock's toe is the least, if he's your starting quarterback and he says, Coach, I'm ready to go, I can play, you play your starting quarterback. I get it. I do. But Mac Jones might have gotten that done, but Mac Jones doesn't, create a pass rush. Mac Jones doesn't solve the special teams problems. I don't know if Mac Jones.
I think you're missing on the number one. The number one was that the 49ers at halftime were down 17-6 at home, and the Jaguars were running for 7.1 a carry. And the 49ers were running for 2 yards a carry. So I think that's the primary. But Brock had a bad toe, right? But you know what? If you had a real strong running game, it wouldn't have mattered about Brock's toe. If you didn't have to throw it 38 fucking times, it wouldn't have mattered about Brock's toe. But guess what? You can't run the ball. Oh, but wait a second. We have the best running back in the game. Well, then your offensive line must be horseshit, right? Oh, we never get there. We always have you noticed that there's a huge disconnect in 49er discussions and this comes straight from Shanahan. Oh, Christian McCaffrey's the best running back in the game. Really? He averaged 2.9 a carry yesterday. Christian McCaffrey's the best running back in the game. Either Christian McCaffrey's not the best running back in the game, or your offensive line needs probably some changes. But it can't be both. You can't have Jake Brendel can't be a great center and Christian McCaffrey's a great running back. Right. And the 49ers are running for 2 yards a carry. It can't happen. It can't be.
What I would
those
say.
Things don't add up.
I think Christian McCaffrey is among the best running backs in the game. And there is really no debate there. The guy is very, very special. I also think it's true that this is far and away the worst offensive line that he's run behind since being traded to the San Francisco 49ers. I mean, that's what's going on here. It's the offensive line that he's behind right now is the worst he's been behind. And I honestly think it's time for the 49ers to start looking at creative ways to solve their ever-present problems. And asking Christian McCaffrey to be a slot receiver, to me, is not a ridiculous ask.
By the way, not to interrupt, Damon, but I need to interrupt.
Yeah.
Our SF 49ers, my guy Raj, is listening to Shanahan's presser, which I guess has started.
Okay.
And he says Brock Purdy was, quote, complaining of some real soreness with his toe this morning, per Kyle Shanahan.
Oh, really?
So get ready for Mac Jones on Thursday night. And it should be Mac Jones on Thursday night. I mean, what team do you know goes 2-0 with their backup quarterback? And here's I'm so sick of all the manipulation and bullshit. I've had media people tell me, well, the reason that Purdy played is that Mac is in worse condition. Says who? I'd like to know, because these eyes know what they're watching, and these eyes are at practice every day. And the Mac Jones that I saw at practice all throughout this week looked exactly like the Mac Jones that I've seen all summer. So either his knee pain is phantom, or he can block it out, or it's secondary, or whatever, but he looks like Mac Jones. Brock Purdy did not look like Brock Purdy all week, and I said so. And now here we are. It's like you should have. The whole deal with Brock Purdy was, hey, he's going to be out 2 to 6 weeks with a toe, and then he was out 2. Why not 6? Why not 3? Why not 4? Why not 5? And the big question is this: if Brock's got turf toe, and we don't know, but let's just say Brock's got turf toe, Mac's got a strained or sprained knee. Okay, which is more likely to get exacerbated by playing? Well,
right.
Both in theory, right? But I would say the turf toe is the one that's more dangerous to go from, it's just a couple of weeker to it's an all seasoner to it's a surgery, career altering type thing. It sounds benign. It's very serious, as opposed to the strained knee, which I don't think it's necessary. If you wear a brace, I think it's probably is what it is. Then based on what I saw, I would say Mac Jones looked like Mac Jones. So then Kyle comes out and says, well, literally on Friday, Kyle said, well, Brock looks pretty good. We'll see if he can go, if he can practice, if he can deal with it. And then when they asked him about Mac, he's like, he didn't look as good as Brock. Well, isn't that fucking convenient? What a fucking convenient answer that is. Well, he didn't look as good as Brock. Well, if he didn't look as good as Brock, then nobody would ever say, well, maybe he should play over Brock. But says who? Says Kyle Shanahan? I watched it. I thought Brock looked worse than Mac. So, and I don't have a vested interest in this thing. I think they wanted to go with Brock because Brock wanted to play. And they just told us what they told us what they needed to tell us to make sure that nobody really, started any uprising or any kind of real discussion about it, because they didn't want to have a discussion about it.
Here's what's really weird. Getting back to the original Kyle saying it's 2 to 3 weeks. So
2 to 6 weeks.
Excuse me, you're right. 2 to 6 weeks. Pardon me. Mac Jones goes into New Orleans, wins. Brock is out on the practice field the following Monday. Wasn't that a rush? Like, why even if rest is what you need, why are you even letting him back out there in a limited capacity? Why didn't you just shut him down for that week and say, you're getting this week off because you're not playing against Arizona? And we all know that. So we're not going to treat you like you're playing. You need the rest more than the reps. Mac needs the reps. So that's the way we're going to do it. I think Mac Jones should have played this game, and then Brock should have played in the next game. I'm not here to, have a revisionist. I think Mac is better than Brock. I'm not going to do that.
No. I mean, I'm not, and I hope people don't think I'm saying that either. I don't think Mac's better than Brock. I think Mac's healthier than Brock, and I think Brock's injury is really, really serious, and one they ought to give a solid. I mean, especially since you were winning games. If you're losing games, I get it, but you were winning games, and you have the world's softest schedule. Just let Mac cook in September as Brock heals. But no, they've got to listen to Brock, and Brock's obviously, players are always going to want to play. I mean, that's just the way it is. You have to protect them from themselves. So I by the way, a couple other things that we need to throw out. Coach Yak has this. The 49ers believe Ricky Pearsall could have a minor PCL injury.
Oh,
okay. So once again, I mean, we knew that it was going to be something, right? We knew it was going to be something.
Well, here's the thing. We thought it. You said it. It better be something for you to tap out of a game like that. So
yeah. Well, but even then, I mean, what's a minor PCL injury? Is it a tear? Is it a strain? Is it a I don't know. I don't know.
16 years old. It's a minor. Under 18.
I don't know. I don't know what a minor PCL injury is, but that almost sounds like they're trying to save face, for the player. It's like, what does that mean? I mean, either is it a torn PCL? If it's not, then what is it? So there's that. But whatever. I mean, I'm not calling Ricky soft. I'm just saying that is the question about Ricky Pearsall is, can he absorb the punishment in the middle of the field? And that's because that's where he operates, in the middle of the field. He's got ball skills. He's got the skills, the quickness, the hands, the route running. He's got the whole thing. He's a great guy.
How about the Ricky Pearsall falling down, reaching down into his hip pocket to pull a ball up off the floor with one hand?
He's got great ball skills. He's a really good receiver.
Great catch.
It's just about, can he absorb the punishment and keep playing? That's
it looked like this wasn't punishment that was doled out by the receiver. This looked like he hurt himself on the ground. So, look, you're going to want that guy Thursday night. Wrong week to have a short week if Ricky Pearsall's got a lingering knee injury. Larry, first of all, we've got a lot of people watching right now. We knew a lot of people would be here for an angry Monday. Welcome, everyone. Hit like and subscribe across both channels. Thanks for being back here. Krug and I will, of course, be back on Friday with another post-game level wake-up because the Niners are playing Thursday night. It is a monster on Thursday night. Not that you want to give any game away, but the choice between winning yesterday or Thursday's no choice at all. As a matter of fact, if you came up to me at the beginning of the year and you said, well, the Niners are definitely going to lose 3 games, you got to pick the 3 games that they got to lose right here. It's up to you, Damon. Who are they losing to? The Jacksonville Jaguars would have been the number 1 overall pick in my who can you lose to draft, and it won't affect the season at all. So
it's not a horrendous loss. It's not a horrendous loss. I think this Jacksonville team is really good. I was worried about this game all week long. It was why? Because Jacksonville, when we get to the playoffs, and I've watched football for enough years to see the common denominators. When you get to the playoffs and there's that team that you are surprised is there, you're like, whoa, this team's there. Wow, what a year they had. Right. Like 9 times out of 10, it's because they had a defense that took the ball away. Like, if you can take it away from your opponent, you're a good football team. You're a good football team. Good football teams take it away. I mean, these guys now have, what is that? They have 13 takeaways in
What's
4
the bigger
games?
concern here? Where is there more truth? How great the Jaguars defense might be because of their 13 takeaways, or how not impactful the 49ers defense might really be because they have 0, Larry. 0. The Niners have 0 takeaways, and the Niners have 0 rushing touchdowns.
They're playing stupid ball. Let me just come right out and call them stupid because I think they're playing stupid football.
What about
literally? They watched Trevor Lawrence on 5 first downs throw a quick out to Brian Thomas Jr., and not one of them was contested. They were all like, "Oh, go ahead, you can have that." Oh, you want an 8-yard out on first down? You want a 6-yard out to Brian Thomas? I'll be Demo Lenore. I'm going to hang back here, and hey, go ahead, have that. You're going to give them that all day. You're going to take a receiver that came into the game ice cold, leading the NFL in drops. He had 3 drops last week. He's clearly not having a good year, and you allow Trevor Lawrence to give him 5 pitch and catch, boop, 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 boop. No pressure, no coverage, sitting back, 10 yards off the ball. Brian Thomas, 8-yard out, boop, all day, all fucking day. That's not smart, man. That is not smart. Eventually, after 3 first down or outs, I mean, I'm sitting next to Todd Husak in the upper deck, at the mezzanine level, or whatever, the press box, the 8th level. And he's like, they're going to go to Brian Thomas on an 8-yard out on the first play. Here we go. Oh, back to pass. Quick 7-yard, 8-yard out to Brian Thomas. Here we go. They did that here we go. Thomas averaged 9.8 yards per reception. They just let him play pitch and catch. They allowed him to just get into a rhythm. I mean, it was just absolutely awful.
By the way,
terrible defense across the board. And the Upton Stout call was a horseshit call. That was a great play by a rookie. There's all kinds when the receiver runs the route and here comes the corner and they have this mesh point. There's all kinds of, whatever. Yeah, little chicken fighting, hand fighting, right? Then the receiver turns around and he pushed him out of the way and he jumped it, but he got there at the ball. To me, that was not PI, but rookies don't get that call. The other thing I was going to say is the Giants fired Bob Melvin this morning. I don't know if you saw that.
No, did they? Oh, you know what? It was time
Giants fired Bob Melvin, and the minute Brock Purdy's got a sore toe.
The minute that I saw Jung-Hoo Lee toss a ball into the stands with 2 outs, I just thought, that's definitely a player not paying attention. But the amount of players not paying attention that has affected games this season has been, twice a week, the Giants did something boneheaded, either on the base paths or not knowing where the cutoff guy was or throwing the ball into the stands after 2 outs. Yeah, unfortunately for Bob Melvin, his teams became defined by underachievement, not overachievement, which is the Bob Melvin we knew in Oakland. So, it didn't work down in San Diego, didn't work with the Giants, didn't have the best team in the world to work with, but he did the least bit possible, I think, with the team that he actually had. I saw that Willie Adames, too. He's the one guy I officially got wrong. I kind of crapped on the Willie Adames thing. I still don't like the contract. He had a really nice first Giant to hit 30 home runs since Barry Lamar Bonds, which is equally interesting and pathetic all at once. And
we'll talk baseball when we have less people around.
I'm sorry, everyone. Everyone just clicked away. I'm so sorry. Thank you for watching. It's 49ers Wake Up, Damon and Larry. It's great to have you here. It really is. By the way, eat lunch at Ike's. I hope you can join us at the Dubliner this Saturday. Larry, can you and Kevin join us this Saturday at the Dubliner by any chance? As we get
possibly
together?
Can.
I hope you can.
You know what? 30 seconds. Talk Dubliner. I'll be right back.
Yeah. So the Dubliner is in West Portal in San Francisco. We're going to be getting together for Blues Mania. I want to invite everybody who's watching. If you are in the Bay Area, if you're in the San Francisco, come on by. Like I said, even Larry and Kevin might be coming on by. I saw that Nick Friedel, who is our friend in the media, who's covered the NBA for so long for ESPN, is now covering the Warriors for the Athletics. That means Nick Friedel is back in town. We're going to ask Nick to come on out and hang out with us next Saturday. I'm going to see him a little bit later on today at Warriors Media Day. We're going to try to get some other content creators. I've texted Haberman. I've texted Cyrus. I said, come on out. Let's have a good time. And hopefully some people can come. Hopefully you can come and join us. Larry, welcome back. Good to have you.
Yeah, glad to be back. Of course, the Krug Show, we got off and rolling. Always brought to you by Pig and a Pickle. Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. Check them out. They're in Emeryville. They're in Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. or until they run out. We're also brought to you by Sharp Corners, Sports Cards, and Collectibles. They're at 205 Cypress Avenue in Pacific Grove, California, on the Monterey Peninsula. Thanks to Anthony Catania. Also, thanks to Claw Daddy Arcades for sending us to New Orleans. They're a great follow on Instagram at Claw_Daddy_Arcades to find a location near you. And Niner football season is presented on the Krug Show all year by Sleeper. The fastest growing fantasy platform in the world, one-stop shop. You get blazing fast news, real-time stats, group chat, season-long leagues, and, of course, Sleeper picks for daily fantasy. Use promo code Larry. Sleeper will match your first deposit up to $100. Links in the description. Terms and conditions apply. Kev and I have won 4 weeks in a row on Sleeper.
So I would have had a winner this week. So I had McCaffrey anytime touchdown, Trevor Lawrence passing under, and I had Ricky Pearsall going over 65 and a hook receiving yards. Ricky's checking out of that game did me in on my sleeper pick this week, but it was tracking well, and then I got Rickied.
Yeah, so it's a great time, man. Sleeper does a really good job. It's a fun site. So
can I tell you what's best about the site? I mean, really. So I'm a Sleeper affiliate too. All truth be told, sign up, use promo code Damon. Screw promo code Larry. Use promo code Damon. What is great is the user.
On that note, Damon was having technical difficulties.
Touche. But no, seriously, I thought that Sleeper's user interface, just how you interact with the website, is the best part of it. It's a great app. It really is. Have fun, be responsible, make good choices, kids. Can I share with you a stat? You tell me, am I supposed to be concerned about this or not? This is one of those. Does this matter? Does it not matter? Am I worried about it? Did you see this? Josh Dubois bomb this morning. Since the start of the 2022 season, 38 quarterbacks have thrown 200 or more passes on first down. Brock Purdy has the highest interception rate of all at 4%. The only other quarterbacks over 3% are Kirk Cousins, Joe Flacco, and Sam Howell. Does Brock Purdy's first down interception rate matter.
Yes. It all matters.
Of course it does.
Matters.
So, here's the thing. We're looking
about decision making, and it's also about passing. I mean,
we're looking at Kyle and we're saying it's not creative enough. Like if you're going to give the ball to McCaffrey on first down, you're going to run him into the back of somebody's fanny on second down too. We kind of know that. So maybe this is when Kyle's getting a little loosey-goosey. He's like, well, we're going to throw on first down here. Brock has got to get better there, man. It's just got to get better. It's got to get better. And still, the guy threw for 300 yards. He doesn't have that late turnover. They might have won the game. They don't have the special teams return. They might have won the game. Was it a game they played well in? Was it a game they deserved to win? I'm going to tell you right now, they played 4 games, Larry, and they really haven't played well in any of them.
They easily could have come back from behind and won this game 28-26, with a late touchdown. And then that's what it was trending towards. But this is what happens when your margin for error is nothing. And, I mean, it's, the vibe around the Niners, even with the wins, before this loss, the vibe around the Niners, and tell me if you think I'm right. This is just my sense of it. Is that everybody, the media, the fans, the players, everybody, the rest of the league, everybody knows that the Niners are just kind of trying to survive and advance, kind of a thing. It's like, just get through September because you got Kittle coming back. You got Ayuk coming back. Theoretically, these young defensive players who are rookies right now and are going through their first, second, and third and fourth NFL games, they'll have a handful of games under their belt later in the year. Maybe they'll be a little bit more game ready. So I think the thinking was, at least Kyle's thinking was, hey, let's try to hold on early and then, get better as the year goes on and really be peaking come playoff time. Then that whole thing is dealt a serious blow when you lose a guy like Bosa. Now you need to kind of reinvent yourself on that side of the ball. There's all kinds of different, reasons that they lost yesterday, but basically Jacksonville was just a better team, and they were a better team in almost every phase. And yet still, I mean, if you want to say something good about the Niners, this is what I'll say good about the Niners. They were -4 in turnovers against a pretty good team, and they could have won it on the last drive. That's how good they are.
Look at you, all of you.
Well, I'm just saying, we're
one show, Larry.
We're 47 minutes in. I got to give the person who's here who's like, hey, don't crap on the Niners. I'm trying to, we want to be the best day after show, and the best day after show doesn't lick the Niners balls. And the best day after show doesn't make excuses for the Niners. And the best day after show doesn't just make up stuff. But so I want to make sure that we're fair, right? Because that's who we want to be.
And we do have perspective that I
want to be fair. I mean, what they did well, let's tell them, hey, they did it well. If they did something poorly, we're going to say they did it poorly. And it's just simple as that. And that's why you should show up here the day after the game, because we're going to tell you what actually happened honestly from our honest opinions, and we're not going to pull any punches. But it was a lot of things. It was a lot of things, and yet the Niners still had a shot. So all is not lost, but let's talk about real change, because I think that's what we can talk about what happened, but I'm done with the diagnosis. I'm on to, Doc, what pill do I need to make it all go away, right? And we got into this debate on the KNBR side, and I said the Niners have to do something about their pass rush. And, Tracy Sandler brought up the point that, we don't even know how good they are, and maybe they should wait. And I understand that thinking, because, why would you go spend a lot of draft capital to go get this player if you're weak in all these other areas and you're not going to get to the playoffs anyway? So I get that thinking. But I would say the 49ers need 2 moves. They need a move right away on their defensive line that adds something, whether it be a practice squad guy, a free agent. I think they need to do something in the next week to 10 days, not necessarily before Thursday, but
you're not saying Trey Hendrickson. You're just saying something.
I'm saying not Trey Hendrickson. I mean, okay. I look at the Trey Hendrickson as that's the like at the deadline move, or maybe right before the deadline. But let's be real with ourselves. if the 49ers keep having zero pass rush, they're not going to get to the second week in November in a playoff situation. So I think they need help right away. And then if they can steady the ship, then I think they need to really think about making a trade, sometime after the 15th of October, let's say, in that window, roughly.
They got to
do something before then too.
No pressures.
They're going to be hurting.
No pressures by your defensive line is an unsustainable world to be living in. So you got to correct that somehow, some way. And I still like the way that Bryce Huff played yesterday. I thought Huff, for a pressureless defensive line evaluation, I thought Huff was on his game yesterday. He wasn't off his game yesterday, but
he can't do it by himself.
No,
you lost Nick Bosa can't be like the guy. Oh my God, Nick Bosa. He can't be that awesome. And then when you lose him, it's no big deal.
By the way, if you would like to understand the value of someone, sometimes their absence will help you get a real clear measure of their value. And all I can tell you is you and I, hey, we both complained about, pressures are not enough, Nick. You got to get home on some of these. And he's outstanding. This is one of the 10 best players on that side of the football in the entire sport, bar none. The Niners have two truly great defensive players, and one of them is lost for the entire year now. So you got to figure that out, either with Robert Salah, who I don't think had a great day, dialing up the right blitz. Obviously, no pressures. That means it wasn't dialed up the right way. Does he got the guys to even do it? Yeah, I think he does. D. Winters needs to be, you've been a real bright spot. Can you do even more, D? Again, Nick Martin. I don't care that it ain't perfect. If you can line him up in a wide nine and shoot him in a quarterback, fucking do it. You got no reason not to try something. I think this team needs to start looking at Christian McCaffrey more as a slot receiver. He is more effective as a receiver than he is as a running back. They got to get Brian Robinson Jr. more touches. Or
really, I mean,
abandon the running game.
You don't like the touch split right now. It's 17 carries and 11 targets for McCaffrey. 28 times they wanted to go to McCaffrey, and guess how many targets and how many touches Brian Robinson had? 5.
3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's
5, and he averaged 4.2 a carry, and McCaffrey averaged 2.9 a carry. Yet he only got 5 carries. I mean, come on. I mean, I get it. You love Christian, but I mean, do you want to get to the finish line? Do you want to get Christian to the playoffs healthy? By the way, the screen has to be shared on this one.
Hey, love gasoline all you want. If you run out of it, you're not going to get to where you want to go. And if you run out of Christian McCaffrey, the Niners are capital F fucked this year.
Yeah, I mean, if I told you week 1 that it would be a 90-10 split between McCaffrey and Robinson, you would have said that's too heavy in McCaffrey's favor. That's what he's getting right now. He's getting basically like 85 to 90% of the touches. And the other guy's being treated like somebody everybody hates. By the way, here are the lowest graded Niners against the Jaguars. On offense, McCaffrey, 56.6. Sky Moore, Luke Farrell, who fumbled, and Kendrick Bourne, who was an absolute circus.
McCaffrey had drops yesterday that were just not.
The Niners had drops. Oh, my God, Damon, the drops. But look at the defensive lowest graded guys. Sam Aquinu, defensive end. Mikael Williams, defensive end, defensive tackle. Jordan Jefferson, defensive tackle. Robert Beal, defensive end. So basically all of the guys that they needed without Nick Bosa to step up played terrible.
Yeah.
That's basically it right there.
Yeah. Wrong week for CJ West to be unavailable, right?
Yeah, I mean, he had a surgery on his thumb. I don't know that he would have. I mean, I love CJ. I don't know that he would have made a gigantic difference there. But I hear what you're saying. They, more the merrier. All hands on deck.
Right. Look, hey, we normally save them to the end of the show. I see some people are like, can you get to some supers or some good stuff in there?
Yeah, we will. Definitely.
Before we do that, Larry, let me ask you this.
Wait. Look at this one, Damon. Okay. You got to see this.
Okay.
This is I'm just perusing the Coach Yak. Look at this. Look at the pressures. Week 1, 10. Week 2, 22. Week 3, 22. Yesterday, 5. Life without Nick Bosa is off to a miserable start.
I was told that's 5 more than I was told there were.
No, I think what the stat you were looking at was, I think Mayoko said that the Niners hadn't had a game where they were hitless, no quarterback hits since 2015. So 10 years. But the pressures.
Yeah.
Pressures. I mean, come on. 5 pressures all day when you've been getting 20. You got 44 in the 2 previous weeks. 5. Jacksonville's line. Name me somebody on Jacksonville's line. Go ahead. I mean, if you know Jacksonville's line, you're probably pretty hardcore.
Eric Armstead?
No, I mean on their
offensive line. Oh, yeah.
Walker Little or something. I mean, it's not a star. Anton Harrison. I mean,
right.
But anyway, go ahead. You were saying.
No, what I was saying is I wanted to ask you about the little on-field kerfuffle between Coen and Robert Salah at the end of that game. First of all, that's just Liam Coen feeling himself. None of that happens if the Jaguars lose the game. But I think Coen realizes, like, hey, there's social media out here. It's my time to buck up a little bit. I'm going to pop off. And then there's going to be a whole bunch of large men who make sure we never actually come to blows here. So it's one of those, like, hold me back things. But he basically said, keep my name out of your mouth. When basically Robert Salah said the Jacksonville Jaguars are really good at reading what's coming, and he kind of gave him a compliment. It sounded backhanded because he said they're stealing signs, which is a kind of a no-no, but it's also universally done all at the same time. Whatever Liam Coen was upset about, I don't really understand it. And apparently Robert Salah was right, because the amount of plays that went nowhere for the 49ers, there were a lot yesterday. It looked like they were all over the 49ers tendencies. So that's a big scoop of nothing, though.
Well,
Straight
I mean,
media filming.
I thought it was more. I don't know if we can call it a nothing. One, why did Robert Salah, without anybody asking him to, why did he even go there? Why did he go there? And it's like you don't give your opponent bulletin board material. He incited the play caller against him. I mean, that here is the scene on the field. Unfortunately, I don't have the right audio set up here.
No, I can hear it.
You can hear it. It's coming through my computer. I have to switch the audio over.
Keep my name. Look, I mean, it's nothing. I mean, Harbaugh.
No, but did you see what Robert Salah said to him? He's like, "I will end you," he would end.
He would fold him in half.
I mean, Liam Coen lucked out there.
Yeah.
If none of those guys were standing in between, Liam Coen standing in a pool of his own blood.
Yeah, he doesn't say any of that.
Yeah. But why did Robert Salah go there?
I don't know.
That's the question I would have for Robert Salah. It's like, Robert, why did you feel the need to go there? Did that make Jacksonville an easier or a tougher opponent? Maybe probably made him a tougher opponent. I don't know that I would have gone there. Maybe I would have gone there after the game, not necessarily before.
Maybe Salah's pissed he didn't get the Jacksonville job, right? Didn't he?
I saw that too. People suggesting that could be the deal. All right, should we hit some supers?
Let's do it.
We got a bunch of supers. It's going to take us a while here. All right, here we go.
Whoa. Before we do it, just while I'm thinking about it, what I thought was the coolest play of the day that the 49ers run. How about the Pearsall to Christian McCaffrey hook and lateral? Yeah,
the hook and ladder is a great one. I mean,
it's amazing that play isn't used more, because every time it's done correctly, it seems to pop for an extra 15, 20 yards. So,
well, yeah, because there's no way to defend it. It's a total surprise. Everybody's pursuing to the left, and now here comes a guy to the right, or the opposite. So yeah, it was a nice play to look at, and I would like to see a little bit more razzle dazzle.
Give me something.
Yeah, I mean,
give
a little
me something.
Okay, let's take some supers. We should tell everybody that on the Krug Show, today's show is sponsored by Habbas Law. For more than 40 years, Omar Habbas and his son Tarek have been standing up for people right here in the Bay Area. They're great attorneys. When you're injured, insurance companies try to tuck tail and not pay. But Habbas Law knows the playbook because they've been battling and beating insurance companies for decades. So they're rooted right here in the Bay Area. If you need someone in your corner, call the law firm that insurance companies hope you never call, and that's Habbas Law. They will fight to make it right. Visit them on the web at habbaslaw.com, HABBAS law.com, 1-800-INJURED. They will fight to make it right, and we appreciate Habbas Law being a proud sponsor of the Krug Show. All right, let's roll through these. SG Sports Talk channel, Chardal, has become a YouTube member.
Thank you very much, Chardal.
Chardal, come aboard. MSQ, if that's Purdy when he's bad, then I'm optimistic. Okay, there you go.
Look, I mean, you take as many 300-yard passing games as you can get out of a quarterback who turned the ball over 3 times, I guess.
You know, the yardage is a little overblown from the standpoint of they were trailing and they were passing. You know, so you knew that they were going to – I had him in fantasy, so I liked the fact that he was passing at the end. But, it's –
here's the thing. They're going to have to not just pass at the end. They're going to have to pass throughout the entire game because their offensive line is just not opening up. They're throwing important offensive downs away with carries that are going nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, they're just the running plays almost look like giveaways at this point. Heather Taylor says, as bad as it was, we only lost by 5 points. I don't know how to prevent another train wreck, but that says a lot to still be in it after all that went wrong. I agree. That is the silver lining, is that you got to wonder, are the Niners blowoutable?
There's your glass half full. There's your glass.
I mean, they don't get blown out. I'll say this. The Niners under Shanahan do not get blown out. They
Christmas Ravens.
What's that?
Christmas Ravens. I think the Dolphins put it on them really hard once too. But yeah, you're right. They don't usually go down in flames by like 3-4 touchdowns.
PWS says the first 5-6 teams San Francisco play have winning records. Okay. We'll see. We got this one here from Stuart Damon. 30 years of falling short. Shanahan is rinse and repeat. He has to go. Wow. He has to go. Niner Matt 209. Our red zone offense has been atrocious since last season. It's true.
Can't argue with that.
You know what? And how Shanahan is literally coaching around the deficiencies in his line. He doesn't even really try to run the ball. They got into a 4th and 1 last week. They passed it. If you're passing on 4th and 1, you don't believe in your offensive line.
On 4th and 1, you're going to see more quarterback sneaks than anything else out of this team.
Yeah. It's probably the best play they got. Dale, Larry, you were right. The most exciting play was a hook and ladder. Bad teams need to do that. Are they this bad? We need trick plays already in game 4. Yeah, when you see trick plays, that's always makes you think you couldn't beat them straight up.
Well, and you know that Kyle doesn't like that, right? He's even on record saying, I don't like trick plays. I like to line up and play football. And I hear you, but here's the thing. You got to work around what you got. And what you got right now is a team that might need to run 1 or 2 surprise plays to gain an advantage. Because outside of Ricky Pearsall, you have jack shit at wide receiver right now until George Kittle gets back. You got two guys who matter to NFL games playing offense right now. Christian McCaffrey and Ricky Pearsall. Everyone else is just a guy.
Ricky Pearsall's hurt, dude. You keep saying that. He's hurt.
Right. But he's something more than just he's better than Kendrick Bourne.
Yeah.
You know, he's better than
wow. I mean, seriously. I mean, maybe we should print shirts up. He's better than Kendrick Bourne. Dale says every game 50-50. We might really be a 9-8 team, even with the easiest schedule. Trent, CMC, cooked. Brock, not Superman. Guys are not 12 feet tall. Yeah, I mean, Brock was high all day as far as his passes. Trent gave up 5 pressures. I don't know if you saw that. Trent Williams
was awful yesterday.
Yeah, it's time.
Trent Williams.
Everybody has their career. You know, it's like his career is winding down.
Yep.
This is probably it. James Foster, big props to Krug. Thank you.
Big props.
Not sure for what. MSQ, breaking news. Bob Melvin fired. Bruce Bochy on the way? No. I would say it's going to be, I was told a name of the next Giants manager.
I wrote it down in an envelope.
And I was told it's Hundley. It's going to be Hundley, the former Giant catcher. Do you remember his first name? I forget his first name. Hundley. Last name Hundley. We played with Buster, backup catcher to Buster, a couple of those years in there.
How about this?
Nick Hundley? Nick, maybe?
I'll take Bruce Bochy over the guy who we'd never heard of. Go with Bruce Bochy.
Bobby L. Larry was spot on with the high throws. He didn't look 100% at all, and there was just a report that Purdy was complaining a lot about torsonis afterwards. Rest him. Thank you. Amen, brother. Amen.
Todd Hundley?
Get Todd Hundley, yep. Or maybe Todd Hundley might have played for the Dodgers.
Todd Helton?
Do you see a Todd Hundley that played for the Giants? That's it.
I don't know. I thought of it with my own. My Hundley Rolodex is spinning.
By the way, on this one, Brock is super competitive. He's always going to want to play. So you got to make the decision for him. You've got to decide. You're the coach. And John, you're the general manager. You guys are in charge. That's how this works. And you guys get to decide, not Brock Purdy.
Nick Hundley.
There you go. Fuji Simeon says, how can they pressure Stafford and cover Puka?
I don't know.
It's the question of the moment. Fuji Simeon, how is the media food? Thoughts on Melvin being fired? It was jerk chicken. I didn't go with the jerk chicken. And they also had a ham and cheese panini or a breakfast ham and egg and cheese paninis.
That's nice.
It was okay. It was all right. It wasn't as good as some days. Some days it's fantastic. This was just solid. Better than just dogs, but just solid. I can't go with the jerk chicken. I'm not sure why.
Are they still serving America's driest chicken fingers at halftime?
Yes, but it's early in the year and they were remarkably juicy.
Oh.
PWS. Any positives we can take away from yesterday? LOL. That's a good one. Go ahead, Damon. You got a positive from yesterday?
Yeah, Jake Tonga.
Anything with the kids? Or maybe?
I like Jake Tonga. Oh, you mean like how was my day?
I don't know. I mean, I watched the game. I didn't see too many positives in the game.
Larry, there is a new playground at Stern Grove. And apparently the city spent $4 million on this playground.
Of course they did.
Now you look at it and you go, well, where are the bathrooms for your $4 million playground? There's no bathrooms here, which when you got a whole bunch of little kids, you should probably have a bathroom right by.
Yeah, but that just allows creeps to hang out. Don't give creeps any cover.
Yeah, I would much rather be able to unload this diaper and worry about creeps at the same time. You know what I mean? Like there's the chances of me needing this bathroom with a 4-year-old or a predator happening. Like I need the bathroom. So, but anyway, nice playground, $4 million. I think we got ripped off. I got to be honest with you.
I don't doubt it. As far as positives, I'll go Eddie Pinheiro. He made 2 field goals.
Oh, great day.
Including a 26-yarder.
You know what, Larry? Great day for special teams.
It was a great day for Eddie Pinheiro. I thought Kalia Davis played pretty well.
Yeah, okay. I'll give you Kalia Davis.
Kalia Davis played pretty well. I thought Bryce Huff did some decent things.
Fred Warner, 2 almost picks.
Yeah, but I mean, Fred was killing himself in the postgame about those. I mean, Fred and Winters are still playing at a real high rate. They're playing really fast. But yeah, I mean, maybe Tongas. I mean, it's like it's slim pickings.
Right. You got a guy who caught 3 balls. He's the highlight of the day.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like,
here's the thing. The 49ers have one highlight player right now. You know, I don't want to rip Tim Kawakami, who I enjoy his work for the most part very much. But Tim Kawakami has today like an article about how Brock's turnovers prove he's the 49ers' most important player. When he plays well, the Niners do well. When he plays poorly, the Niners do poorly.
Say about any quarterback.
Yeah, you can say that about to me, it is so obvious that Christian McCaffrey is so far and away the 49ers' most important player. It is ridiculous. Without Christian McCaffrey, what are you? What is this team without Christian McCaffrey? Where would they be throwing the ball? Who is catching the ball? Who is running with the ball, if not for Christian McCaffrey? I'd even argue he's the fucking MVP of this league right now. I mean, there's no one who can move the ball an inch but Christian McCaffrey, except for Ricky Pearsall, who you just said is hurt once again. He's the only guy who everything's just footballs. He's the only guy who runs with footballs. Christian McCaffrey is so more important than any of these fucking guys. It's not even funny.
The utilization of their weapons is poor. I mean, you have two starting running backs. One of them can play receiver. You don't have enough receivers. And instead of using Brian Robinson at running back and putting Christian full-time at receiver, you don't play Brian Robinson and you use Kendrick fucking Bourne.
Robert Garcia says McCaffrey
horrible.
McCaffrey is
totally cooked.
McCaffrey is awesome. McCaffrey's fantastic. He's the least of your problems. He's
not the reason that he's not. He himself is not the reason he's struggling to run. The holes aren't there. Go look at. Don't throw bullshit at us. Go look at the stats, dude. Go look at the stats. Go look at the numbers that actually tell the story, which is how many yards do you run before you're hit, and all yards after contact, and all the internal numbers on running backs show that there are no fucking holes for him. And that he's just running behind a horse shit line and making the best of it. So that's what's going on. If you want to blame him, go for it, but you're wrong. As far as Kyle Shanahan, let's get everybody updated on the stories of the day, or at least the news of the day. Juwan Jennings has an ankle and a shoulder injury. His status for Thursday is up in the air, according to Kyle. The Niners are hopeful that Malik Mustafa, who's got the ACL, can start practicing after week 6, according to Shanahan. So that means he'd have a 3-week window between week 6 and week 9, or week 7 and week 10, roughly, for the Niners to activate him. And he'll probably be activated within that window. Ricky Pearsall, according to Kyle, could have a minor PCL injury. There is concern about his ability to play Thursday, according to Shanahan. Brock Purdy was complaining of some real soreness with his toe this morning, according to Kyle Shanahan. So that puts his status very much in question. So now you're fully pretty much updated on the latest and greatest from Ninerland.
Yeah. So any positive takeaways? Once again, the answer is not a lot.
Yeah.
Here's a positive takeaway. You're 3-1 after 4 weeks. That's good.
I mean, I'll give you a positive takeaway. I mean, we're all alive. You know, here we are. We're all alive, and there you go. Ramon Gonzalez, did 33 get blocked in the back on the punt return?
A little bit.
Saron Neal, you talking about?
I thought there was a little block in the back there that could have been called, but there were two calls that went against the Niners. That and the Upton Stout pass interference.
So wait a second. One of your 11 guys may have gotten illegally blocked. What's the fucking excuse for the other 10 guys? Because they didn't touch him either. Mark K, where's the zone run? Everything's between the tackles. They don't feel like they have the speed to get to the edges. Heather Taylor, lonely 49er fan in Kentucky. Wish I was on the West Coast to come meet you guys and commiserate. Go Niners.
Heather, we would have loved to have you at the Dubliner this Saturday. Maybe think about flying in. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Catch a flight. Irrational. Damon, can you say Donskoy?
Hey, it's almost hockey season.
For old time's sake.
Donskoy. Yes.
How do you compare streaming versus radio? I've been listening to you and Kruger for years.
I love the freedom, the ability to not bow to the FCC's regulations. We can talk like two guys sitting in a bar, and I love it. And it's an awful lot of fun, and we don't have commercials, and it's great. I absolutely love broadcasting on YouTube. I got to admit it. I do.
I mean, it really, I'll be straight with you, Irrational. When, you make a certain amount of money in radio, and once you replace your salary streaming, you're all in. You know what I mean? And once you make more money from streaming than you made on the radio, then you're really all in. So I think, I like streaming more just from the standpoint of there's more you can do with the video element of the thing. we can show you highlights, we can show you commentary, we can show you, different things, and then we can take video calls if we want. I think video calls are better than normal calls. So there's a lot of cool things about
Well, and I like the immediacy of it too. Like, no matter what I had to say, no matter what hot take I had cooked up, I wasn't able to relay it to anybody until 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon when my show started.
Yeah.
Now you just press go live and you're reacting in real time to anything. And that's the world that we're now living in.
Yeah. Fuji Simeon says Giants will be on their third manager in 4 years.
Jeez,
bring back Kapler.
When you think of it like that.
Who cares? They're rich as hell and they're losing, and there's no excuse for it. Hey, Giants, you want a message? Here's a fucking message. So how about spend more than half as much as your number one competitor, and then maybe you'll have a chance to fucking compete. The Dodgers are spending $350 million on payroll, and you cheap asses are spending $175 million. Shocker that you're not as good as a team that spends $2 for every $1 that you spend.
It's amazing how little real estate investment does to your team's overall batting average.
It's amazing to me how many Giants fans are either not smart or just have so into it that they're going to go to baseball games in September to watch a team that's been woefully bad all year and out of it for much of the year and didn't hit a lick for like June through August. And yet you're there in September, still fired up for $35 parking or $40 parking, still fired up to spend $1,000 on a family of 4 to watch a Giants game in September. I mean, there's either a lot of people with a lot of effing money or a lot of freaking idiots out there. Because
what? Here's the
what
thing,
are you watching? Why would you you live in Pleasanton, let's say. Why would you say, hey, honey, get the kids. Let's leave, at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon to drive to San Francisco so we can park in some, shithole for $50 and go watch a team that can't hit a lick, get 4 singles and 1 run, and let's call it a day for $2,500. I mean, it's
how come you're not giving me Bryce Eldridge at bats so I can watch Wilmer Flores maybe play his leave Eldridge in there? Why'd you bring him up? Anyway, that's why Bob Melvin's gone now, so everything should get better by that alone.
Don't says, did you guys see Nick Wagner's post on Robert Salah and what he said to Coen? It was wild. Yeah, I actually retweeted this, and I added my own commentary. And basically, my commentary is that football coaches, Damon, are volatile. I've been on staffs where pro coaches in the middle of reviewing practice film started brawling. And it's just, and I'll say it then. I said it then. I'll say it now. It's not a big deal. No. And this also was not a big deal. No. And then Robert Salah, though, supposedly said to Coen, I'll fuck your world up. You don't want to fuck with me. I will fucking end your fucking life.
See, I don't hear any of that on any of the audio. I've seen the Zapruder film of this. I don't hear that anywhere, but I believe it to be true.
Yeah, I think it was probably true.
I believe it to be true. I think Robert Salah's got a chance to maybe physically beat up a couple of his players, much less an opposing coach. Salah's no joke.
Roger Thomas, Brock has 20 interceptions in his last 19 games. Isn't that concerning? Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It is absolutely concerning.
Yeah, he's been a little bit turnover prone since the Ravens game on Christmas, right?
He had turnovers in college. It's just there is a way. I mean, we just saw a Super Bowl where Jalen Hurts beat Patrick Mahomes. Well, how is that possible?
Offensive line.
Jalen Hurts is not as good as Patrick Mahomes. But see, the Eagles have Jalen Hurts. The Niners have Patrick Mahomes. The Eagles, though, have surrounded Jalen Hurts with. What's that?
You said the Niners have Patrick Mahomes.
The Niners have Brock Purdy, but the difference is that the Niners are trying to make Brock Purdy do it all. Crappy line, no running attack, Kendrick Bourne, some has-been receiver off the street, anything. You know what? Offensive line, fuck offensive line. Brock, we'll just pay all our money to Brock. We're not going to worry about protecting him. So they're asking him to do it all. The Eagles are like, hey, Jalen, We're going to go get Saquon Barkley. Like, we're going to build up our defense. We're going to put you behind a fortress of an offensive line. And all you got to do is run plays and be smart and make a half dozen throws. Brock Purdy could win a Super Bowl with Jalen Hurts' equation. If the Niners could ever figure it out how to get Jalen Hurts' equation around Brock Purdy, they will win a ring in probably multiples. But if you're going to ask him to operate behind no line with no running game, with crappy receivers and a Swiss cheese defense and a horseshit special teams,
you know what I was thinking, Larry? I was thinking
about
about this last night. Because the Niners have been trying to moneyball this offensive line for too many years in a row now. And one of their retreat points to explain to you why they're doing it was, go back and look at the dynasty. Look at our heydays. Look at what Bob McKittrick did. He did it with smaller, lesser paid, lower profile offensive linemen, and he was able to get the job done to the tune of 5 Super Bowls. You know what? That's fucking super. You know what he also had? Joe Montana, Steve Young, and Jerry Rice.
Roger Craig, Dwight Clark. Yeah, I mean,
you can have a lesser offensive line if everybody around you is in the first team picture of all NFL starters. When you have the greatest 2 quarterbacks ever and the single greatest 49er ever in Jerry Rice, you can maybe get away with things.
It's also
Jerry Rice behind this offensive line.
It's also a fallacy. Okay. The 49ers got by with a lot of secondary type players in the interior. Jesse Sapola was a 12th round pick. They had guards that were late round picks. I mean, heck, they were doing it. Eric Heitman played well for the Niners. He was a 6th round pick. The Niners did it with guards, and the Niners are still doing it with guards. I mean, they got Pooney in the 3rd. They got Colby in the 7th. And I think Colby, when he gets healthy, is going to play better than he played yesterday. But even back then, the Niners couldn't fake the tackle. Harris Barton was a 1st-round draft choice. And the 49ers, if they're going to get a good tackle, they're going to get him in the 1st round. So they got to invest in a 1st-round tackle and hit the way the Niners hit on Harris Barton. But the Niners, it wasn't only scrap heap guys. Harris Barton was a 1st. Jonas Yamir Jonason. What about when Kyle took the pen on 3rd and 12? Why? Yeah, well, that was the other one. There was a play in this game where the Niners got absolutely hosed. And I can tell you where it was. Basically, and Kyle called a timeout, and I think the officials basically either blew it, but it was the play where the Niners had it was going to be 3rd and 12. Yeah, here it is. So the Niners have a 2nd and 12 play from the 9, or Jacksonville did, right? Lawrence throws to somebody. It's incomplete. Penalty on Jacksonville for holding. So it's 2nd and 12 from the 9. So now you have a hold. So it's a 10-yard penalty. So you either have, or is it a 5-yard? Hold is 5, right?
10.
Okay. So now you have 3rd. You could either go 3rd and 12, or it was I think it was half the distance to the goal line. So then instead the Niners gave them 2nd and 17. And then Kyle runs down the line, is like, whoa, timeout. And then he goes and talks to the officials. I didn't understand that. Why not 3rd? I would much rather have them had 3rd and 12
than 2nd
and 17, because guess what? On 3rd and 15, a couple plays later, Lawrence found Hunter for 29 yards, who beat Siegel, and they were suddenly moving the ball, and they eventually scored a touchdown. Lawrence found Hunter Long on the 4-yard touchdown to make it 14-3.
17 points off of turnovers, I think, yesterday, Larry. 17 points off of turnovers.
Yeah. And the last one just ended the game. And not only did the Niners have 4 turnovers, there's really 5 turnovers, because they also had a turnover on downs. That's also a turnover.
That's right.
John Kalua, the preseason take on the 49ers was there 1 or 2 injuries from a bad season, bad wide receiver group, and a bad O-line. Maybe that was on display yesterday.
I think that's fair.
I think that is fair. I think that was, no, that's not all of them. I thought that was all of them.
Here's the thing. George Kittle, again, appreciate a guy in his absence. George Kittle coming back to this team should open up some holes that aren't there right now, and just should really give Brock a target that he needs. But
I'm going to be jumping to KMBR here to go on with the Gregs in 20. So let me just finish these up. Sells surprise face, waste of money on Luke Farrell, trash signing. Yeah, I don't get that one at all. Some stiff guy who's supposedly a great blocker. I mean, seriously, right now the 49ers should be calling around looking for a tight end. I mean, they absolutely need a tight end.
What about Mason Klein? How about you develop that guy and turn him into a player since he was in your system for 3 years doing nothing?
He's hurt. He's in New Orleans hurt. Great. Says Robert said, I will end your life. I will end your effing life. He's in trouble. What? No, he's not. What coaches say to one another does not get you in trouble. I don't care if he said that right to his face and it was picked up by absolutely every mic there was. He's not getting in trouble for that. The league is not getting in trouble. If the league somehow penalizes Robert Salah for talking shit to Liam Coen, I will fucking eat my fucking hat. There's just no way. There's no way in God's green earth that that's happening.
They lose a draft pick. They lose a draft pick, Larry.
Yeah, could you imagine? Joe E. Puka plus Kyron, Bucky, Bijan next 3 weeks with terrible special teams. Brace for a 3-game skid. Thursday sleeper play idea. Puka more on targets. Pinero over field goals made. San Francisco quarterback over pass attempt total. You know what?
It's not bad.
The easiest bet of week 4 was the Brock Purdy pass attempt over under. It was 32, and he had 38. And the Niners can't run, so you know Brock's got to pass. So that was an easy one. I made.
Well, you knew that Brock wasn't going to take off running much either with that turf toe. So when in doubt, he might throw it away, which is a pass attempt.
Poontang Pie. Puka Nacua was right. Mistake paying Brock $50 million. It was a mistake talking about another man's contract is really the mistake. We'll see. It's easy to say that today. Let's see if you're saying that, after he plays great and they win and then so on and so forth. It's easy to say that when they have 4 turnovers and they lose. Fuji Simeon says media food that bad, need more capital investment. Yeah. Something tells me they're not concerned about the media food. Greg Arjazy says Kyle's an imbecile with injuries in his tenure. And there's an emoji that we can't see. David E. Brock Favre has had 8 interceptions in his last 5 games and fumbled repeatedly. Is he trending to a 2023 performance or a 2024 repeat? Well, he's not healthy. And if I were the Niners, I would sit him for at least 2 or 3 weeks and see if you could get him healthy. Otherwise, it's going to be a wasted year.
By the way, if you're telling me that I'm going to get some interceptions, but the rest of his career is Brett Favre-ish, you're going to enjoy some parades up Market Street, everybody. So, relax.
I like how being Brett Favre-ish is a rip when Brett Favre is one of the greatest quarterbacks that ever played. Harry Johnson says we're about to be 3-2 real quick.
Could be. Yeah.
John Kalua, Moody was hogging the spotlight of ineptitude. That's a great line. Now that he's gone, the spotlight is going to other places on the team. Thank you, Eddie Pinheiro.
Look, this offensive line really is a bigger problem than anyone's going to admit. I mean, it really is. And they have gone so far out of their way to not address it that it is the one that, there's not a lot of negligence on the 49ers. I think that they lose games in ways that football teams lose games. They fumble, they make a mistake, an interception, blah, 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 blah. It's not a lot of negligence. I think they're pretty much well built. But last year's number one lesson in the postseason was trench warfare. They ignored that lesson, and it might be biting them in the rear end.
Can't argue with that. Bobby L. Mustafa is going to be huge, definitely in the run game. Etienne does what he did if Malik plays. Him and Siegel will be the top safety duo. Pinnock ain't it. Yeah, Pinnock had a rough game. Greg Arjazy, great show, guys. Go Niners, go Yankees, go Devils.
Hey, it's almost hockey season. Donskoy.
Go Yankees, really? You sound like the kind of person who roots for the IRS. Fuji Simeon, $16 Sundays are drawing people to Giants games. LOL.
And does Ghirardelli Sundays are pretty tasty, though. They really are. I like those.
Giants fans have more money than sense. Anthony Lick Scorpion. Kyle has been OC head coach. Is he and he can't figure adversity? Well,
I mean, I don't know if it's adversity or just falling into the trap of using Christian McCaffrey in predictable, easy to see coming ways. I thought that that's a trap that he fell into around Deebo Samuel. Deebo Samuel went from really interesting wrinkle that's coming out of nowhere to you can feel him coming 10 miles away. And that changed the arc of his value to this team. Kyle forgot how to be creative with Deebo, and it died fast. And he's got to get creative now with McCaffrey. And you got to throw more screens, I thought, in this game could have happened. I don't know. Like the very first play of the game was that really nice pickup to Juszczyk. And I think it's because everyone was waiting for Christian McCaffrey to get the ball on the first play of the game. And so they caught him a little off guard. Nice play by Juszczyk.
Yeah. Fuji says to end on a positive, congrats, Damon, on IU football. Who did they beat this week?
At Iowa. Iowa had been like 35.
I was thinking about taking Iowa in that game, but then I was like, you know what? That spread didn't make any sense. I couldn't go there.
Mendoza took a safety that blew the spread at the end of the game.
Fernando?
And it wasn't one of those. He ran 40 yards backwards into the end zone and was tackled there. It was really weird. Like the clock
investigation.
Look at it this way. I don't think you can be a Heisman candidate and rigging games, but that was weird.
Fernando Mendoza, you are going to be investigated.
All I can tell you is we will be monitoring this bank account. Yes.
Fuji Simeon, estimate on the percentage of Niners fans at SoFi on Thursday. It's always a good number.
More than there'll be more 49ers fans in the upper deck at SoFi than there were in the upper deck at Levi's.
You know what? I don't know if you do go to SoFi, but they're
operating about like 78%, 85% capacity through these first two games. I mean, there
was a lot of empty seats for Arizona. Not as much for Jacksonville. There were more people there for Jacksonville. There are people though who are claiming that the Rams fans are not making noise, that they're piping in tons of noise because they're sitting there at games at SoFi where everybody's sitting down, nobody's even standing up, and yet it's super, super loud in there. So look for that if you're a Niner fan. Do you think they're piping in artificial noise down there? Carlo in the house says Kyle's going to get CMC hurt soon. Why can't Garendo come in on passing plays? Why doesn't the rookie James dress? We need more creativity. We got this one from Eric Dowling. This quarterback problem is a trend since Kyle has been head coach. Fuji Simeon, I'll take Purdy acting like Favre on the field, but not off the field. Favre, no welfare fraud scandal, creepy behavior with female staff.
All I'm telling you is if Brock Purdy starts building volleyball courts, we're all in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, we're not talking about Brett Favre and his issues post-career. We're talking about comparing Brett Favre to Brock Purdy. Greg Arjay, I'm a Jersey guy. Lots of Niners fans here.
There are a lot of Niners fans in Jersey.
All right, that's going to do it for us. An hour and 30 minutes goes by fast, especially when it's an hour 32, approaching hour 33. All right, that's going to do it for us. Damon's up live at 11. I'm up live.
No, Larry.
Oh, no, you're not. You're going to Warrior Media Day.
Yeah, I'm going to Warriors Media Day. We'll have some videos coming from there. And we'll see what we garner about It's amazing that Media Day is happening before this Kuminga situation is over and done with. I mean, it's just amazing. And you want to talk about negligence? This is something that they've neglected. Like, this is the first official thumbtack of negligence you can put on the Warriors since the dynasty began.
Wow.
Other mistakes.
Alan Smiley-Geach.
Those are mistakes that are made in real time. This is a designed inability to solve a problem that you created yourself. And this is it's a big, let's be honest, man. Anybody who's real, it's a gigantic nothing burger. The Warriors are like maybe the seventh or eighth best team in the West. They're old, they're not winning any more titles. Their time has come and gone. And anybody who's real knows they have zero chance to win any more rings with Steph Curry and what they have. So they're just playing out the string. But it's sad because, instead of trading some of these guys and really getting down the road, Joe's loves his guys and is going to drive this thing into the ground. And he doesn't want to trade Kuminga, doesn't want to sign Kuminga, thinks Kuminga is worth a ton when he's trying to trade him, thinks Kuminga's not worth shit when he wants to sign him.
it's a circus. He's got all kinds of ridiculous. He's got his kids involved, and they're in positions of power. He's the Jerry Jones. Basically, he's the Jerry Jones. Joe Lacob is the Jerry Jones of the NBA. Jerry Jones bought the Cowboys and basically hired Jimmy, made some great decisions early, and they won 3 rings. He has never approached a ring since. They don't go to the playoffs. They're horseshit because he makes the calls. Joe Lacob did the exact same thing. He bought a team that already had momentum, had Steph, had Clay, did a couple nice moves. They won some titles. He took credit for it when it really wasn't his. Jerry took credit for Jimmy's success. Well, guess what? Joe Lacob has taken credit for Larry Riley and Don Nelson's success and Bob Myers' success. And now he's got to have success on his own. He can't do it, and they're going to be bad.
I agree with what you said. I also think we should say this. He's the single greatest owner in the history of the franchise. He is, without a doubt, one of the greatest owners in the history of Bay Area sports. You might not like what he's doing, but what he's done is significant. Chase Center is significant. It stinks, though, that this team is tripping over its own decisions and its own ability to get the right business done in a timely manner that helps you round out your roster. And I think that Lacob has
Jones
demerits and merits.
He's Jerry Jones. He's a genius businessman who's moonlighting as a basketball man. He's not a basketball man. Jerry Jones is not a football man. The same thing that happened to the Cowboys is going to happen to the Warriors. They're going to have this huge, awesome, opulent arena and a team that isn't ever good enough to win because Joe and his kid are making the decisions instead of saying, hey, Jerry West, get out of here. Hey, Don Nelson, get out of here. Okay, great. You want to make the decisions? You got it, baby. You're making the decisions. But now as your team is horse shit, it's on you. It's on you, bro.
What? Here's the thing that bothers me is that Steve Kerr used to surround himself with one of the best assistant coaching staffs there is. Like the guys who are all around Steve Kerr on his bench could all be NBA head coaches tomorrow. His assistant this year is his son.
Thank you. Harry Johnson didn't like the away jerseys at home. I didn't either.
By the way, stop with that. By the way, it is a 74-degree foggy day. There's no amount of sunlight in a red jersey that is going to throw your team. Wear your home jerseys or admit your stadium sucks. One or the other.
On that note, we're going to call it quits. Thanks to Damon. Thanks to all of you. Tons of supers today, guys. Unbelievable. Thanks for emptying the wallet. All I can say is we'll be back here doing it again on Friday. Niners play Thursday. It's a quick turnaround. Check me out,
Larry.
Check me out tonight on Niners Nightly at 6:00 on the radio with Giants baseball over. We'll be taking your phone calls and reacting to the Niners train wreck of a week 4. So anyway, for Damon, I'm Larry. Have a great night or great day, everybody. Appreciate every single one of you. We'll see you Friday. Cheers.